In this unit, one woman-related unit 15, page number 120, page number 120, unit 15. Where shall we go this summer? Anita Deshai. This novel, I think haven't gone through this novel. I ask you to read it. And this unit also, it's dealing with the general topic rather than the deep into the characters and the themes of the novel. It is discussing about the surroundings of the novel, Anita Deshai's. On page number 126, the question number 2 is important. How does Anita Deshai deals with the issue of personal and political in this unit? Personal and political. And the answer is available on page number 123, 15.3.3. If you can look at just, this is a very small one, just 3 small paragraphs are here. But better explore the answer in Google. You will get a lot of information. If at all you look at this women novelists, how they are different, it's a very in a general rather than looking at the novel's themes, summary, characters, characteristics. It covers all sort of women writers and their themes, women writers' themes, and what motivates them, and later when it is a beginning of the it's a personal journey, but later it is a common consciousness of the public, and later it will leads to become the political agenda. Such things this unit is discussing. You can come to know that the 15.3.1 women novelists, how they are different. These things we have discussed in other pages also, in other units also, how women novelists or women writers are different from the male writers, and what especially they look into these things. And sometimes if you look at this Ione, the Volga, and she is also, this both the people are, they took the Sita's name from the mythical character, from the Ramayana. They took the Sita's name and rewriting the Sita's personality in the modern context. Rewriting the Sita in modern context. And Sita is a kind of a representation of the all women in India. In such a way, they have taken it, because the Ione, in the short story, you have one short story that Ione also did the same thing. That is also retellings of the Sita. The Ione short story it is on the unit 18, 149. Unit 18, 149. The Ione means the Sita burned from the earth, not from the woman's womb. The same kind of things that are related to the woman physiology, and woman pleasure. And such point of view, that is written, the pain and the pleasure. That is also one kind of not retelling of the myth, but that is also inspired from the myth. Same kind of a way in this novel. In Where Shall We Go This Summer? the character, the protagonist is also Sita. It is also from the Sita's point of view. You can read these things. Another question that this novel is important novel, but since there is no summary, just it is outside of the novel. If you know the novel, then only we can discuss. So that's why you read the summaries. You read the summaries on Google or somewhere on the Sparks notes or the Spoon notes. There you read the summaries and you will come to know how to answer these things. And remember, whenever you are answering these questions, there's a small introduction about this lady, Anita Desai, the next generation from the R.K. and Raja Rao's generation. She's her biography is very less here. Just you find out the biography from internet, and that will help you. That will help you. And then later you focus on from this unit. First, you take the Anita Desai's biography, and next thing is that why she is a special writer and how she is a special writer, how different she is, and how she is considered as a woman's writer, a woman novelist, especially women's novelist, and comparing to the other women novelists, women writers in India and the abroad, they're focusing. These things are available on page number 122, 15.3.1. Women novelists, how they are different. So in that difference, Anita Desai, how she is different from in India. And the next thing you should focus on, she is inspired from the myths and the mythical characters, and more or less she writes in her novel one character or two characters, or else enter the novel based on the mythical characters, that to be woman characters. So these things is a third point. The fourth point, you should look at the question of women's body. The question of women's body. Yeah, you read this question of women's body, and the next one is, this is important. This is important. This is for the general. Whatever the question comes, you explore in this direction. And this question is a straight one. That is the personal and the political. The personal and the political. So this is a straight question. So in the straight question, you have a three small paragraphs. Answer is here, but you explore. You explore these three paragraphs on your own by reading of other things. How on 15.3.1 it helps you, and Ione, the story Ione just now I mentioned, unit 18, and that also helps you to elaborate this answer. By reading that, write your answer on your own. It leads to the feminism. It leads to the feminism, because they mentioned the Catamillate, and these all people are the feminist related literature, women's writing related people. You ask any question, I can give you the reply rather than speaking from here. I said I asked you to watch that movie.
Yes, sir.
Yes, those movies like what is this? This movie, Mano Majra, Train to Pakistan. Train to Pakistan. I don't know how many of you watch it. Please watch that movie whenever you get the time, and read the themes. Read the themes. And from the textbook, there is a very less information. Please try to explore in your free time before the exam. Not before the exams. In your free time, just look at the themes. Look at the themes, and look at the political history. That will help us. I forgot the name, but Vidya Balan was the heroine. Radcliffe. There was a movie that is discussing about the Radcliffe line, because that divides from the India and Pakistan. She is a Devadasi in that character. That movie also can help you to understand these things, because the Train to Pakistan, and we have another novel, Shade. Another novel, Shame. This is a historical novel written by the Salman Rushdie, dealing with the some psychological disorder people, mentally handicapped, and three generation of the different political families, three generations of different political families, and their family relationships, and their struggle for power, and their inhibitions over ambitions, such things. That novel, that historical novel, also discussing Salman Rushdie's Shame novel, unit 17, unit 17, page number 137. This is dealing with a lot of histories, three different kind of families. If you look at the contents on the unit 17, you will come to know that 17.0 to 17.10, the distasteful characters and the depressing country. Someone raised hand. Yeah. And please unmute and or else post the question in the chatting. From this Shame, apart from the summary also, there are many characters because of the generations and their families. There are many things are there. From this novel, you should remember about the Salman Rushdie biography, where he born and what he has written, how he is famous in Indian writing in English, and what are his themes, major themes in his novels, and how he takes the contemporary India as a narrative in his novels. He speaks on the contemporary things, contemporary history and issues in his novel. Based on these issues, he writes the novels, and those are his themes. And remember, this is a third world literature because we're the Indians, and this man is representing the India, Of course, he stays in London. But he's an Indian writer. This is also Salman Rushdie writing is also called as third world literature. It's called third world literature. And write this concept, the third world literature. What comes, the features of the third world literature, the characteristics of the third world literature, and the writers of the third world literature, especially from India. Salman Rushdie is one among them. There are many writers. You can take them and remember this post-colonial literature. Always post-colonial, after 1947, whatever the literature is produced, and take that into your consideration rather than the Raja Rao's or what is this Kantapura Raja Rao's, R.K. Narayan. Rather than these people, you take after 1947, that is the dealings that deals with the history, politics, culture, and social issues. These things are very prominent in third world literature. And the next thing, what you should look at in this unit is the postmodernism. This is a postmodern literature. Postmodernism, another concept is, and those things you should focus on. Third world literature. One is Salman Rushdie biography and his contribution to the Indian writing in English. One thing. Second thing is that the third world literature in English, especially from the India, who are the authors, and keep that in your mind. The post-colonial literature, after 1947, whatever it is produced, that is representing the India in a different political aspirations and ambitions and the cultural issues, historical struggles, histories, and the contemporary issues, especially these contemporary issues of the politics and communal rights, religious matters that are endorsing a particular ideology, and the people are common man is struggling in that, and such kind of literature, just you focus on it, the struggling and the suffering literature. This Dalit literature also comes under this category, third world literature, and this is one thing. And another thing is the postmodernism. What are the features and characteristics of it? Postmodernism. These three things are important along with the summary, summary of the novel. And another thing, this is because I asked the three things I said, you should understand this unit from this perspective. And this one question is important. I don't know whether they will ask, but keep that in your mind. That is a grotesque. What is grotesque literature? Grotesque literature. What is grotesque literature? What is the word grotesque? And this is also important. That is a very horror kind of a thing. Images and buildings, and the memories. These things come into this category. These three things, along with the novel summary. And this is based on the Pakistan families. It's based on the Pakistan history, Pakistan royal families histories. You can read this. Any other thing? See the shame, unit 17 shame and unit 13 mother of 1084 is a common thing is that history as a narrative. History as a narrative in this sense. In mother of 1084 also the same thing. The mother narrates the social history from his son's point of view, from her son's point of view, and from her point of view, the social history point of view. She narrates. Same kind of things we can see this in Salman Rushdie's Shame also. This is also a historical based on the history, family history narratives. How they behave with the families and what kind of personalities are there, what kind of characters are there, and their characteristics and their living spaces.
No, once we will
Yes, Dinia Matthew, please tell me. Hello. Hello?
I think she accidentally unmuted herself, sir.
I don't know.
Sir,
Another thing, in
Sir,
the
you can mute
Unit
her, sir.
5, Gurajada Apparav's Kanyashalakam, I told you to read this very carefully. Watch this movie. Watch this movie. Apart from the summary, one important thing is that it deals with one component that is literary point of view is a comedy of manners. Comedy of manners. One thing is comedy of manners. One thing is this comedy of manners. The features and characteristics of the comedy of manners you can take. I don't have the permission. Yes, given the permission.
Sir,
Then I will screen a
Sir?
slide.
sir, sir, can you hear me, sir?
I will screen a slide here.
Sir? Dinia ma'am, please mute yourself. You are actually disturbing the class.
Something is with earphone. I am trying to put up
Online class is going on.
Dinia ma'am, would you kindly please mute yourself? Miss Dinia, please. Thank you.
Hold a second for a while. I will.
Sir?
Wait. I will. This is for Unit 2. Unit 5, Gurajada Apparav's Kanyashalakam. Anyway, you will watch that movie and read the summary. The Madhuravani is the main, one of the important character in it. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is for Unit 2. This is for Unit 2. Unit 5, sorry, Unit 5, Gurujada Apparav's Kanyashukam, page number 35. You learn the summary and another question. Discuss Gurujada Apparav's play as a comedy of manners. So before going to, you should write, this is a 6 marks question. Comedy of manners. Comedy of manners is frequently situated in elite upper class settings, such as stylish residences and private clubs. And of course, this concept is from the not the Indian concept. This is a European concept, and we have the way of the world. For example, the way of the world. We have a drama in the British literature in the last year, in first year. So that is written in the comedy of manners. Generally, this comedy of manners is setting in the upper class. So in our Indian context, in our Telugu context, the Brahmin community is the upper class. Brahmin community is the upper class, and it is based on their community's rituals and traditions. This play has written. These plays are frequently about love and adultery and features elements such as a gossip, eavesdropping and planning. Often the conversation is witty and ironic. So this is important. This in the comedy of manners, this follows often it follows the witty and ironic, the conversations of the characters that represents, that satires the ongoing things, the same thing with the Madravani plays. Ramapantulu, Madravani, Ramapantulu, Luddavadanlu, these are the characters. And the famous character is the Girisham, witty and ironic. That ironic in sense, for example, the Girisham, the character, he speaks about the values and ethics, a lot of things he speaks, but he doesn't practice them at all. He preaches, but doesn't practice them at all. So that is the irony. And he's doing quite opposite to that. He's a kind of a opportunistic person. We can see these kind of features in him. And other thing, the comedy of manners is frequently the features of the characteristics of the comedy of manners. Comedy of manners is that like the scenes in gathering places for the upper classes, such as fine homes and exclusive clubs. This is based on the European, but whenever it comes to the Indians, the upper class people, their community halls are their frequently gathering hubs. The appeal of the comedy of manners is to the intelligence of the audience, reader, and not the emotion. See, appeal of the comedy. For example, they make a dialogue. They give a satirical dialogue. For example, in movies, Brahmanandam, he doesn't crack a joke. Just he speaks, he behaves, and that leads to the audience and the readers. Then we respond to that. We understand the hidden meaning. We understand the irony. We understand the sarcasm. Then immediately we respond to that. So that is the specialty of the comedy of manners. And stock characters such as fops, country bumpkins, elegant young ladies, and older persons attempting to recapture their youth. That means these people they behave like the old people behave, like the young people, like to showcase or to show them as the still they are in the youth, and that they can do anything as the way young people are doing in such a way. And another thing is that the presence of at least one pair of very intelligent young lovers. Yeah, they are there. Here our lawyer, one lawyer Saujanya Rao is there. The person is a intelligent person. The lawyer is intelligent and he applies logic. And at the same time, Madravani is there and she is a prostitute. She's a prostitute, but Devadasi woman, but she's a very ambitious, not ambitious, very humble woman. A very humble woman, and she likes to learn new things. Especially, she wants to learn English language. See, the entire thing in this one thing is it is discussing about the antisocial not the social evil, sorry, social evils. It is discussing about the social evil, about the Kanya Shulakam. But in surrounded by, that is the time period that India was changing. There is a transition period, especially in Andhra Pradesh, and people are very much passionate about the English language. Here in this drama, Girisham knows English language. So many people are attracted towards him and attracted towards him because he can teach English to them. He can teach English to them, and they will also learn the English language, and they speaks like the babus. These words they used it in those days for the English people, and that was the thing. So in the same condition, and the Girisham was went close to Madravani, on the basis of he can teach the English language that she can learn it. Though she is a Devadasi woman, Madravani, and she maintains her own ethics and loyalties and humbleness, and she's a very passionate woman. She's very passionate woman and very witty woman, and I cannot say she's a clever woman, but very intelligent woman. She knows how to behave with the people, not professionally, in general way also. So she makes some dialogues beautifully and sarcastically in the play. And another thing is gossips and romantic intrigues, schemers hatching plots against their enemies. And this is one thing. Just you write down the schemers hatching plots against their enemies, because this is the Kanya Shulakam is about a marriage between a 9 years old girl and a about to die person, around 60 above 60 years old man, and they want to take the money from him, from the assets. So in between that, so it is the comedy of manners is one of the feature, one of the characteristics is that the people they hatch the plots against their enemies. So they want to take him and they want to bring him to the court for a justice. The eavesdropping is the one thing. So if you look at here, what is the meaning of eavesdrop in literature? A character in a closet, behind a curtain, or in other room overhears information that could embraces or incriminate someone. So these people that they will listen over here from a corner, and this is also one of the things. Once they do, if one of the character is there, so that will change the entire plot and the story, and that leads towards the middle twist and the climax. So eavesdropping is one of the main feature in the comedy of manners. Scandal or threat of a scandal. Yeah, it's a common thing. Witty dialogues and conversations, but the wit is often contrived and artificial. Like contrived artificial, the way in today's comedy, we can see that the punch dialogues. So the punch dialogue is artificial expression, not the natural expression. This is another feature, and the women in this place were very emancipated and bold and intelligent. The Madravani is the exact replica of this statement. Unlike the heroines of the sentimental dramas, the women in this place were very emancipated. You can write the Madravani is a very much emancipated person. So she's a Devadasi. Everyone uses her. So many people use her, but she does not feel herself as a lower person. She feels very confident. She feels very humble, and she's witty, and she's intelligent. She's intelligent, and she's very a dare person, bold person. She can take the decision. She can approach the people. She can convince the people, and she has a modern approach in her behavior. The institution of marriage was always held to ridicule. Yes. So this is also one of the important point. The institution of the marriage system was always held to ridicule. So in this novel, it is based on the money. It is based on the money. So it's a kind of a mockery, a ridicule in a sarcastic manner. Both husband and wife openly expressed their dissatisfaction with their spouses. So this thing is not there in our in our Gurujada Parav's play. This is meant for other things. If you remember the Way of the World, there you can see these kind of features. And these plays were meant for refined and elegant audience of London, and hence the characters belong to upper class and London society. So it is the comedy of manners is meant for they pinpointly, they subtly the questions, subtly the questions the ongoing systems, ongoing and existing standard systems, how how they are how they are fault, how they are not suitable to the present generation, how people are cheating themselves by practicing these things. And the existing system is visible in one direction, and actually practically it is happening in a different direction. And the second thing is that these people always afraid of the society, and for society's sake, they want to maintain their status. They want to maintain their status to impress the society, but actually they are not being like that. So such kind of system was there, and it shows the loopholes, the holes in the existing traditions. This place portrayed the lifestyle of the rich London society realistically in a mildly satirical way. So when it comes to our Kanya Shulakam, it also shows the what the realistic society is, and in a satirical point of view. In everywhere, it shows that. If you watch that drama, you can come to know what kind of things. So these are the features of comedy of manners. Comedy of manners. 5, 6 you can write down, and you will get marks. The scandal or the touch of scandal. Eavesdropping. Eavesdropping means a character overhears from a corner, from a window, from a closet, from behind the doors, somewhere. Gossips and romantic intriguing and hatching plots against their enemies, witty dialogues and conversations. The woman is emancipated, bold, and intelligent. I know it's in these places, marriage is always ridiculed, and both husband and wife are openly expressing their dissatisfaction with their spouses. The scenes happen generally in the gathering places of the upper classes and the clubhouses, where the upper class people meet for to express their evening relaxation and express their to exhibit their status. In such places, it begins. The appeal of the comedy of manners is to the intelligence of the audience, as I have spoken. It leaves to the audience how far they can understand and react and respond to that. And the start characters are there, the presence of least one page of very intelligent young lovers. So these are the features in the comedy of manners, unit 5, Gurujada Aparas Kanyashu. Two questions are important. One is the just you can write the summary, and the second thing you focus on comedy of manners. The features are characteristics. What are the characteristics of comedy of manners? There you can write the these are the features and characteristics, and you can say when it is beginnings. It begins from the Greek literature, from the 35 BCE, from the Horace, if at all you have it. Just write down in your notebook or underline the title in your notebook and explore it on your own. I'm moving here and there. You ask me if you have any doubts, then I can reply you.
Sir, small doubt, sir. That is, if it is asked that how uh, uh, Kanya Shulkam is expressed as comedy of manners, should we write the qualities of comedy of manners and then bring the characters of Kanya Shulkam into that and explain, sir? Sir, sir, can you hear me?
Not audible, Ramu. You are not audible. Your mic is muted.
Sir, can you hear me, sir? Sir? Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Unmuted.
Sir, can you hear me now?
Am I audible? Is my voice
Yes, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you hear me now?
No.
Divya ma'am, am I audible?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Ramu sir, yes.
Now you are audible. Little bit.
Sir, the point is,
It's
you
a low
have just
voice.
now given the characteristics of comedy of manners. Should we include them with the characters, sir, when we are asked that is how Kanya Sulkam is a comedy of manners?
Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Your
sir.
voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
See, I spoke you this, but uh, if you have a textbook, please note down. Already I have spoken these things. From this unit, from this textbook, you have two short stories. One is Unit 10, Ishmat Chughtais Field and Olga's Ionic. Two short stories. That means one short story will come in your examination. That would be the Olga's Ionic or Ishmat Chughtais Field. So you remember Ishmat Chughtais biography bit and summary of the story, the characters. And the same thing applies to the Volga's biography and Ioni summary. Ioni Telugu English story, which is there in our textbook, and Telugu story is available on internet. If you can Google, you will get it. Just to type the Ioni Telugu story written by Volga. This is from the from one American women's writing websites. You will get that Telugu short story, 1.5 page. And another thing is that Krupabai Satyanathan's Unit 4 Saguna, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and Unit 8 Untouchable. Unit 8 Untouchable, and Unit 23. Unit 23, Shan Kumar Limbani. These four units are dealing with the caste system. Krupabai Satyanathan is an autobiography, but it is partly dealing with the caste system. Krupabai Satyanathan novel Saguna. It's autobiographical fiction. Remember, it talks about the Christianity and women liberation. And being as a Christian from a upper caste conversion, how she was feeling and what Christianity has given to her and gifted to her being as a woman, and how it leads to the tradition of the new woman. The concept of the new woman emerged from her writing. It's a 6 marks question. What is new woman? Who is new woman? Or what is the concept of new woman? What is Krupabai Satyanathan's new woman? The question may comes like that for 6 marks from the Krupabai Satyanathan's. And it also subtly dealing with the caste system, because these people converted to serve to the untouchable people. Their community is not allowing them to touch them. Christianity has given this liberation to them. So that is why they converted. That is the thing. It is discussed one portion. And the second thing is that Mulkraj Anand untouchability, completely dealing with the caste system, completely dealing with the caste system with certain characters. You remember the characters and write the summary along with Mulkraj Anand biography and his contribution to the English literature. And the next thing is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's Buddha and Karl Marx. The difference between Buddha's ideology, Karl Marx ideology, both people wanted to be the peace and stability and equality in the society, but in a different perspective. He pointed out some faults in the Buddha's ideology. This person, Ambedkar, and in Karl Marx, the economic distribution and the peace, they are the different, and these two people did not address the women and the caste system. These two are the different things from an Indian perspective, and especially the Dalits. Those things you should write. This is the dealing with the caste system. And the next thing is that this one. Sharan Kumar Limbale. Sharan Kumar Limbale, this is directly dealing with the caste system and the caste literature. Caste system says some untouchability and the Dalits literature, why it is being separated and how it is incorporated. The mainstream literature is based on the imagination. The theory of imagination is based on the theory of the rasa. Rasa means navarasas. So that is why the mainstream literature is completely different from the Dalit literature. Dalits don't have this navarasas. They have only one thing, is that suffering, pain, struggling, these things. And if at all we have to find out these things from their sufferings only. So that is why this literature is a completely different one. And the Dalit literature needs aesthetics. That point of view, he has written this essay, and this essay is very, very important. Buddha's Karl Marx is an essay, and Sharan Kumar Limbale is an essay. One is come for the 10 marks, one is come for the 6 marks. And the Gauri Vishwanathan and the Meenakshi Mukherjee's essay is dealing with, Gauri Vishwanathan essay is dealing with the beginning of the English literature. This is closely related to the Venelakanti Subbarao, Unit 1. Unit 1 and Unit 24 are near, not similar, are near. Most of the information is closely connected, if you can correlate. Venelakanti Subbarao, if you have forgotten some things, if Gauri Vishwanathan's question comes, just you remember the information from Subbarao report on education system and what kind of syllabus was there, what kind of schools were there, and the idea behind Mokale's plan to introduce these things. Especially, this is also dealing with the lower caste, this essay, like these untouchables and Dalits did not have a chance to enter into the schools, did not have a chance to work with the mainstream people. So if we introduce these things, and they will learn English language, and they will access the education, and this to be, we should introduce the syllabus through the Christianity. Conversions, Christian conversions and the Christianity. So the morals and ethics, if we teach the stories from Christian point of view, these people closely and slowly connected to the British ideology. So they won't feel that the Britishers are ruling them and they can work for us. So that kind of ideology was there behind introducing the syllabus in English language. So that is what Gauri Vishwanathan was dealing with. And at the same time, Subbarao also said in a different way, the India is based on the caste system, and people will go and do their occupations even after the age of the 14. So whatever the study ends at the age of 14, and they will read and write. That's it. They don't look for any other. So there is a similarity. You can see that. And unit 2 and unit 24 also similarly connect the Mokale report, because this is also TV Mokale introduced this in Parliament, the introducing of the English language, why it is important, how it is important, and what are the procedures we should take. Such things he discussed in the British Parliament. Those information is here in the unit 2, and that information reinterpreted and rewritten in Gauri Vishwanathan article, unit 24. So unit 1, unit 2, unit 24 have a similar components, if you look at. The Torudats is ancient literature, the ancient ballads, and how she rewrite the myths. There are the two myths from the Ekalavya is one, and there is another myth, I discussed it, and you look at that, Torudats point of view. Kanyashulakam, we discussed it. Krupabai Satyanarayana is the sadhana. New woman, the concept is the new woman. You look for that. And we have poems. Unit 7 is one thing. Unit 7, Rabindranath Tagore. Unit 11, Nissim Ezekiel. Unit 11, Nissim Ezekiel. And you can also, I told you, another book is dealing with the Indian writing in English. And this person comes there also. Rabindranath Tagore comes, Nissim Ezekiel comes there. And closely connect to this book and that book. If there is a description of the poems in this textbook, so there is an outline in other textbook. Remember, Rabindranath Tagore, Nissim Ezekiel, and another one is this Jayanta Mahapatra. 3 poets are here. 3 poets, sorry, 4. Unit 21, Imtiaz Darkar, 4 poets. 5th one is there, unit 19, Hoshang Merchant, selected poems, and this is also there. 5 poets are there. Among these 5, 2 people will come. Rabindranath Tagore will come, Nissim Ezekiel or Jayanta Mahapatra will come, Imtiaz Darkar. Okay, 3 poems, some selected poems, and prepare summary. This is that. And another thing is the novels, Multraj Anand untouchable novel that is dealing with the caste system, I told you. This thing is Kamala Das. Kamala Das, My Story. Kamala Das is a biography, autobiography, semi or fictional autobiography thing. This deals with the sexuality. And we have another thing is that Ishmat Chuktai, the Pilt also. This is a short story, but deals with the sexuality. And another thing, another short story is a Volga short story, Ione. This is also deals with the sexuality. Unit 19, Hoshang Merchant selected poems also deals with the sexuality, homosexuality. 4 units, unit 19, unit 18, and Kamala Das, My Story. Kamala Das, 3 things you should remember. One is the body is political and the social history, sexuality, autobiography. These are the things she is handling in her work, My Story. Ishmat Chutta, you know the story. Rabindranath Tagore's, no, not this thing. Volga Ione, yeah, Volga Ione is discussing about from the woman's body point of view. Woman's body point of view. We have discussion, and Hoshang Merchant is the homosexuality, bisexual related poems. Yeah, we have one more drama here. Sorry, I forgot to say this is a Manjula Padmanabhan's drama Harvest. Manjula Padmanabhan's drama Harvest, and unit 20, unit 5, these 2 are the dramas. Remember, we have the one is Gurajada Apparau's Kanyashulakam is a drama. Unit 20, Manjula Padmanabhan Harvest is also drama. Yeah, this is also considered as a third world literature. It's called as a futuristic play. Remember the characters, there's a very less information is available here. This is a drama, remember? This is a drama, unit 20 and unit 5. Gurjara. This is about this book. and the chapters. Any other doubts?
Sir, can you hear me now, sir?
Now, little bit I can hear you now. Speak loudly.
Sir? Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sir, should we include comedy of manners characteristics, sir, when we are writing about Gurujada
Yeah,
Paras
when you are
Kanyasulkam?
writing the summary, you can include, but there will be a separate question. Generally, what I have seen in the previous question papers, there is separate questions they will ask. What is comedy of manners? What are the characteristics of comedy of manners? Yeah, include the way when I discussed, like the characters are women characters are bold, empowered, and intelligent. Take Madhavani character, how she empowered, how she is bold, like that. Give an example and explain them in 2 sentences. Like
Yes.
that. Take the character of Girisham, take the character of the Lubdavadanalu, take the character of Saujanya Rao, lawyer. Take one character of how they are passionate about the English language. Like there is a between the conversation between the Girisham's students and the student's grandmother. There is an incident. Give that example.
Yes, sir.
Any other doubts? I am leaving the meeting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, Ramu, thank you very much. Yeah, I am leaving.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Amma. Thank you, and all the best. Wish you good luck for your exams. And I'm leaving. Okay.
Thank you, sir.